Hey. Well, hello, everybody. I'm on early today. Oilers Man Hockey Cards was with me last night with Peyton, is in the house. And yeah, I'm on early today. I'm not sure when my lovely lady's going to be off work. She's a nurse. She works lots of hours, and she wants to take a day off early today. So I said I'd start my show a little early and wait for her message. So I could be off at any time. I don't have a final time, and I'll be off today. I could be on for 3.5 hours too. It's possible. So we'll see how it goes. So, all right, let's see what it was. I had so much stuff I had to do today. I didn't even see what the new news for today was, if there was anything. Bernier is injured for New Jersey. That was the big thing. I said that Carolina might be making a mistake because of the injury problems of Ranta and Anderson, and the injury problems were Mrazek and Bernier this year. So we got some updates on salary cap projections. After announcing the hockey-related revenues will reach close to $5.2 billion for this season, the league will indeed increase the salary for next season by $1 million. All right, $1 million. That's it. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you were on the stream last night. Mercer in the house. Woo! I got the There Will Be Frolic shirt on today. There will be Frolic. Because there will be. There's Frolic right now. So what's good, Kyle? What do you like out there? Salary cap going up. Salary cap going up $1 million next year. It doesn't really affect people too much. I can't wait till that can go up a lot more than that. I just did a video on Gallagher getting traded to everywhere. 5 teams. New York Islanders, New York Rangers, Edmonton Oilers because he's from Edmonton, Detroit Red Wings, and the Colorado Avalanche were the teams I came up with that if in fact he were to get traded. And I'm on the fence about whether they should trade him or not if they're going to do a rebuild. He's the kind of guy that you want all your young players to be like. I almost lean to keeping him. He's only making $6 million. Yeah, $600,000. You're not really making. It's not really much. I sort of lean to keep him even if you're going to do a rebuild, and I think he'd be willing to stay. He bleeds blue and red, man. But I saw it in the article. 6.5 for a Gallagher, man. I'm all over that. I'm sorry. He's from Edmonton. Yamamoto. What did I have? You probably would have to have Cassian in the deal just to make it work. And the problem is you'd have to give up a pretty significant prospect and a first-round pick to get him. I'm talking about a very significant prospect. If you watch the video, you'll probably go, no! I did a new one, Eugene. I did a new one. I did a new video with sound. I know, I found that out. Ticked me off. I go to check it out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down and, see how this, and I was busy. I didn't even think to check to see if it had sound. It has sound now, though. I should actually put that on. I should put that in the title of that video just to make it so. I'm going to go look that up. I could probably do it right here. I don't need to do it there. I'll change it, yeah, but yeah. It's just Minnesota, really, I don't think, it's like center defense are their two things. I don't think wingers are really something that they need too as strongly right now. I don't think they'd want to invest too much on wingers. They got Matthew Boldy coming up. He's going to be a winger. So he's doing really well in the AHL right now too. Like really well. There, I just put it in the title that it has sound now. Oh, that was what I said. If I said it like without laughing too. If I could ditch Barry to Montreal, I doubt very much Gorton's gonna fall for that. Do you think Kane is still gonna try to get Fiala? Kane and Fiala. Oh, Kane from San Jose. I think getting Kane would be an off-season move. I think they want to monitor what he's going to be like in the AHL for a while. The guy just got out of rehab, so you got to give him some time. I would not be surprised if he's totally changed as a human being. I wouldn't be surprised, but before I'd make a deal like that, I'd want to make darn good and sure he has. So, in which case, if he has, I don't know if it makes sense for Besser because, okay, the only reason why it makes sense for Besser is because maybe he's from the U.S. and he wants to be home. It's possible. Like, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But Besser is probably the same type of player as Kane. And Kane's making $7 million. So if you're trading Besser because of the contract that he's trying to work out is too high, if that's the only reason, I don't know if Kane makes any sense. Right? No way I'm trading Horvat. No way. No way. Not for Kane, no way. No way, no way, no way. Miller, maybe. But again, it's all the cap thing that I don't really get there about the Kane talk. I think the Kane talk is mostly because he's from Vancouver. But Fiala's going to want somewhere similar too. Like I said, those kind of moves, I think, like lateral moves like that, would be because the player wants to go. I think more than anything. Otherwise, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't do it. I would think that if it was a hockey move, you wouldn't be going for a guy like Fiala. You'd be going for a defenseman. Or something like that, if it's an actual hockey move. If it's a guy, well, that's still a hockey move, I guess, if a guy wants to go. But if it's a guy wants to go move, then it makes sense. If Besser really doesn't want to stay in Canada or Vancouver or whatever, for whatever reason, he's only asking for a short-term deal basically to put him into free agency so he can go where he wants, then it makes sense. As far as Fiala is concerned, that could be, Besser could be, he's from Minnesota. Besser's from Minnesota. So it's possible he could be saying, I want to play home. And I don't want to sign a long-term contract in Vancouver. I'll sign a bridge, and when I become a free agent, I'll go to Minnesota. Now, Vancouver looks at it like, okay, well, I'm not going to get any trade value anywhere else if he's only going to go to Minnesota because he's going to tell his agent to tell every team that he's going to Minnesota, in which case then it makes sense to go get a guy like Fiala. Even though they don't really need another guy like that, it's still a guy with talent that you're getting. You're getting some talent. Like, you've lost all your leverage because Besser wants to go play in Minnesota. What least likely to go to? Arizona. He's got a 6-team no trade clause, so I'm pretty sure Arizona's off the table. Buffalo would be off the table. Actually, you know what? Buffalo might not be off the table because it's close to Montreal. But bad Western teams, I would think, would be where teams that like Arizona is really bad. Teams that are really gonna like rebuild for a long time. I would say that would be it. I don't know. He might have his own specific reasons, but Arizona, I think, would be number one. I doubt he'd want to go to Buffalo right now, because if he's gonna rebuild, he might as well stay in Montreal, right? So he's got a 6-team no trade clause, so he's probably going to take teams that have a rebuild sticker on them off the table. I would think. Maybe location's more important, though. Maybe he's built his roots in Montreal and he wants to stay close to the area. So, CL, how you doing? But I would think Western teams that are right out of it, that have a rebuild tag on them, would be the ones that he wouldn't want to go to. I would just a guess there. CL, how you doing, buddy? I'm on for, I don't know, an undetermined amount of time today. I could be getting a call from my wife anytime to come get her, so. Unless Besser signs a contract. Yeah, well, let's look at his contract. Yeah, it could be just strictly money. Like, it just could be that they can't keep all of these guys. If that's the case, it's going to be a tough call. Miller has made it a really tough call there in Vancouver, because Miller is taking a leadership role quite a bit. He's almost the heartbeat of that team right now. So as much as they would love to keep a guy like Besser, who wouldn't want a guy like Besser, he may end up being the odd man out. And I think they would get a ton for him, especially if it has nothing to do with him saying, I want to just go to Minnesota. If he's willing to go to a whole bunch of different places, then you could see them get a really good return. Look at his contract here. I've looked at it several times. You'd think I would know it off by heart. I think he's 25 or 26. And not to mention, they're going to have to work on their defense. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff that's got to go on there. The problem being he only has 13 points in 24 games so far. However, everybody on the team is really lagging, so I don't think that would make that much of a deal. He's only 24 years old. So if he only wants a 3-year deal, that's a big red flag, right? The question is going to be, do you sign him? They don't have much cap space next year. He's probably going to want like a Vander Kane money at least. Somewhere around $7.5 million. And Vancouver doesn't have much cap space next year. Make sure you're tapping that like button, everybody, to get some more people in the stream. Make sure you're tapping that like button. No, echo. Shoot. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was looking at what the cap space was for next year. Yeah, Petrie, I just did a video on that. I don't know if you saw that. I traded Petrie to a couple people there. I think there's a lot out of Montreal that'll be gone. Pretty sure Sherrod will be gone. Yeah, I lean more to Montreal holding on to him too. I do. The only reason why Gallagher would be gone I see the reasoning if they decide to trade him too, but they really don't have any heart and soul guys there, and he's just a heart and soul guy. It's a tough trade. I think the Molson company wouldn't want to see a guy like that go. It wouldn't really do well with their. You got to remember they have a product, right? Molson is a product, and they don't want to tick off the people that buy their product. Farabee on IR, yeah. Yeah, so it's over for Philly. I think it's got to be over. So what do they have for cap? Next year they got $10 million. Yeah, see, if they give Besser 7.5, who else are they going to sign? I mean, I guess they could get everybody else under after that, but then you got Bo Horvat in 2 years, JT Miller. I think they could probably get away with it, but they're not going to be able to add more to their defense. Part of that is their own problem. Tyler Myers and Tucker Pullman, and I mean, they're paid way too much for a poor defense. It's really what it comes down to. They paid way too much for a poor defense. Hence the reason why Benning is no longer there. I think my top 3 players that will be traded, I think it's like a lot of them are Montreal Canadiens. I wouldn't put Gallagher in the top, but I could see Price being traded. Like, I could see a lot of crazy things happening there. I just don't know how the heck you trade Price at that contract. He's got to play for a good half a season and show that his head's back in the game before you could even think about it. I imagine that if he puts up huge numbers for the rest of the season, somebody would take a chance on him with, maybe take some salary back or whatever. It would be interesting. Yeah. I guess that wouldn't be interesting for Vancouver fans, I don't think. Kane, yeah, I don't think Kane, like I said, I don't think Kane will be traded until the offseason. They're going to have a long time to look at how he is. The only thing is Kane may just absolutely crush in the minors. I wonder what let's take a look here and see if he's played any minor league games yet. I haven't even heard about it. Let's see if he's played any minor league games yet. Nope. Why hasn't he even played a minor league game yet? I thought he was in the minors like 2 weeks ago. Best NHL contract ever, yeah. Del Zotto on waivers? Oh, because Docker is back. He'll probably get picked up, Del Zotto. Somebody will probably pick him up. He's a serviceable defenseman. He's a good... I wouldn't even mind if the Oilers picked him up, to tell you the honest truth. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. He's probably better than what they already have, which is sad. He's probably better than Ceci. Seattle will likely trade some guys out. I think they will, yeah. I think that was the whole plan for Seattle, if you listen to this all the time. I think that was the whole plan. He picked up guys he knew he could trade at the deadline. I think most of the guys in that room know it too, that they were picked up for the purpose of getting draft picks. I would if I were him. I see no reason why you would want to keep these guys long term. I don't even think it's good for them. The only guys, like the guys you signed as free agents, maybe not, because it's not a good idea. You'll hardly ever you won't be able to get a free agent to come to team if you trade off guys like that. Probably, yeah. I would say that's a good move. Denny Barlow, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I would trade Eberle. I would trade. Wouldn't trade Schwartz because they signed him to a free agent. Yanni Gord, Wenberg, Dunskoy. Dunskoy still hasn't scored a goal yet. Might keep Tanev. Pretty popular guy. He's got a controllable contract, and he's the kind of guy that you want your young guys to be like. Jared McCann. I guess not Alexiak or Larson, but Dunn. I wouldn't trade Soucy. I would trade Fleury and Lauzon. Yeah, lots. I'd trade them all. And then just go get free agents and build again next time. Eberle back to Edmonton. Morgan Geekie, maybe he's a young guy. He's pretty young. I might keep him around. He can't get it together offensively though. He looks like he could, but he Ryan Donato for sure. Looks like Mason Appleton's probably going to be gone. I don't know why he's not working out there. He was great in Winnipeg. Maybe go back to Winnipeg. I don't think they would take him back in Edmonton, Eberle. I don't even think he would want to go back there. It wouldn't feel right. Yeah, I think you get about a mid-round pick for Lauzon. But Eberle would be interesting. I think there would be a lot of teams interested. Boston Bruins, if they can, I don't know how the cap would work. The cap is going to be the difficult part, of course. Eberle's making $5. But, Boston Bruins would probably be interested in Eberle. Yeah, I would hold on to Soucy. I don't think I would let Soucy go myself. But if he was going to go, yeah, LA certainly needs some big guys back there. Their defense is too small. No way. Adam Lowry? I would never give it. No. No way. I don't like Lauzon that much, so. I love Adam Lowry. I wouldn't do it. I don't know. Maybe they would, but. Vancouver and a first for Besser. Jeez. I hope that wouldn't work. Benning's still there. It would be a fairly early first, but no. I don't think so. Eberle, where could Eberle go? If the Golden Knights could find some room, I could see him going there. I think a lot of teams would be lining up if they can find the room to get him, to get Eberle. Toronto, maybe. At the deadline, maybe they can scrape up enough room to get him. Pittsburgh Penguins. Calgary Flames, maybe. New York Rangers said they're looking for a top 6. Interesting player. Yeah, legendary first. Yeah, exactly. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a very smart move for LA to give Soucy a shot if they can find a way to get him out of. I think you'd have to give up more than you think for Soucy. Maybe not. It looks like Seattle doesn't value Soucy as much as they should. You might get him for a song. I don't know, but Soucy would be good for LA for sure. No deal. No deal. Cale Fleury's not very good. He would need more than no. There's no reason for Carolina to trade Jordan Staal. He's part of the fabric there in Carolina. He puts up some good numbers. He's a good two-way guy. I mean, there's no. You would have to. It would take a lot to get Jordan Staal from Seattle. And I don't see why it would benefit Seattle at all, because Seattle really isn't worried about being good now. So don't see that one, bro. It just had Seattle up here. What the heck? Okay. No. I thought I had Seattle up here. Here we are. So Eberle's 31. He's got 3 years left. That's not bad. It's not a bad age. Like, I think they'll get a lot for Jordan Eberle. I think they'll get a lot. He does have a modified no movement clause, though. How many teams can he? $16-team no trade list. Oh boy, that could make it difficult. If Eberle doesn't want to go, then it could be he could make it pretty difficult for him. And I know Eberle really doesn't want to move around all that much. He signed that contract with the Islanders, and he was really disappointed that he was let go. Especially, it's the way he was let go. You know, just basically, here you go, in expansion. Couldn't get anything for him at all. And literally half the teams, yeah. So that might have been the problem in Long Island, is he didn't want to leave, because I know he was in Edmonton and he's a family guy. He doesn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave Edmonton. He didn't want to leave. He doesn't want to move around. So if he's got a 6-team no trade clause, 16-team, him and his agent will sit down and strategically figure out what teams would want him and what teams he wouldn't want him. And he would take all the players all the teams that would want him off the list, which would leave him, leave Seattle with no leverage whatsoever. So it's possible he doesn't go anywhere if that's the case. Well, I think it was a bad move by the Islanders, considering they got Palmieri, who they got instead. And they haven't been the same since he was gone, so I guess you can make a pretty darn case that it was a bad move. The problem with Eberle is he doesn't play a playoff-style game. You look at how many points does he have in there. Although that was Regina Pats. He had 11 points in 19 games in their first run, 14-22 in their. He's had 36 points in 62 games overall in the playoffs, which isn't bad production, but he doesn't do much besides that. So they wanted the cap space for some reason. I still don't think that reason has come around as to what it'll be. It wasn't to sign Parise and stuff like that. I think Lamoriello's setting himself up for something big next year. I have a feeling he thought that the team was going to struggle this year because of the shortened off season, and he brought in guys like Parise and Chara more or less to say, hey, if we do make it, we've got a veteran team that can, maybe do something. I have a feeling he even thought they were going to struggle this year. So losing Eberle will give them cap space for whatever his plan is. He's looking down the road, whatever he is. I don't know who he's pointing what player he's thinking about grabbing, but I wouldn't doubt it that you'll be like, what? Didn't see that coming. If I'm the Oilers, I'm all over that. If I'm Tampa Bay, there's no way I'm doing that deal. Cal Foote looks like he could be a 5-6 or maybe even a little better than that. Cassian's already starting to decline, and you just get a third-round pick. It would cost more than that to get Cal Foote, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. But if I'm the Oilers, I'm all over that. Yeah, for sure. I still think Bailey will be moved. I don't know. Maybe he's thinking about St. Louis there still with Tarasenko. Like, that's what I thought. I thought maybe they were looking at Tarasenko. They need more of a shooter, right? Yeah, Tarasenko in St. Louis. Yeah, thanks. There's Projo in the house. Yeah, the speculation was Tarasenko for sure. Let's look at some free agents at the end 2022 that may not be signed. Maybe free Claude Giroux. Maybe he's looking at Claude Giroux. It doesn't really make much sense to me, but where they really need help is defense, though, actually, more than anything. Chris Letang. No way he's getting Bergeron. Bergeron will resign. Johnny Gaudreau. I think Calgary will probably resign him. Louis Eriksson's going to be a free agent. You could see, going for Giroux, maybe. Well, I'm pretty sure that Lamoriello would want to see Tarasenko play all right before he's going to make a move like that. So he's played really well. Now maybe it's on the table. I'm not sure. Yeah, Bailey's sort of a shadow of what he used to be, though. I don't know. Maybe he gets regenerated in a new place or something like that. But as far as I know, he bleeds Islanders. So yeah, Bailey's not that big though, is he? Philip Forsberg, maybe he's looking at him. I think Forsberg, I don't know. I'm on the fence with what they do. He's only 27 years old. I have a feeling Nashville will find a way to re-sign him if he wants to stay there. Besides that, I don't know if there's too much that's going to turn the, unless he's looking at really bolstering that defense. And Lamoriello, that's the first thing he cares about. And Anaheim can't sign Lindholm or Vincent Trocheck is a free agent, and Carolina will only pay a certain amount for him. You know, there's a lot of good free agents coming up in this draft. Some of them may resign, but like I said, he could be looking ahead and thinking, I can get a better player next year in free agency or whatever than Eberle and certainly Bailey. I honestly think Malkin will go back to the KHL if he doesn't sign with Pittsburgh. He's had a rough go with injuries now, and it's really hard to put a cap hit on him because how healthy is he going to be? That's the biggest thing. I don't know. I'd almost want to do a performance laden contract with him. I think he could. I think he could. I'm really. You got Hextall there. With Hextall there, I'm leaning to Letang getting traded. What? Oh, really? So you got another chance, and you change it to an A. Good for you, Cooper. That's awesome. Thanks for coming in, by the way. No, Bergeron's not done with Boston. He'll resign with Boston for sure. I don't agree with that. I can't see it. I don't think Michkov's going to drop. He's just too talented. I just can't see him dropping. Rather have Michkov at 20, come in at 20, like, you know, have a Kaprizov eventually. I think it's highly unlikely he'll drop. Top 5 players who will leave their teams in free agency. Well, why don't we do it, and that'll be it. I'll write them down right now. Let's do it, and then I'll do a video on it. Top 5 players that will leave their team in free agency. So, that's kind of hard, too, because there'll be probably a lot of those players will be traded. Like Phil Kessel's going to be traded for sure. Will he leave the team he gets traded to in free agency? I'm not sure. Marc-Andre Fleury almost certainly will be traded. And I think he's going to Pittsburgh. And then he'll re-sign in Pittsburgh. Ugh, I don't know what I'm... Joe Pavelski will probably re-sign in Dallas for less. Bergeron will re-sign. I guess Giordano's going to re-sign since he was made captain. Johnny Gaudreau, I think now with Calgary being as good as they are, they'll get something done with him. He'll sign. Radulov, maybe. I don't know. He's 36. I think Radulov will either re-sign in Dallas or go to the K. Probably for less money. Fleury to Montreal. Yeah, maybe. They're going to trade Price. They'll trade Price. I'll give that a 50-50. I know San Jose wants him to re-sign. I think Hurdle's main problem was basically if Kane was going to be there, he was going to not. But he may just want a new environment. And it also depends on the price. They've got cap issues there for sure. So I'd say 50-50, coin flip. Coin flip on Hertl. Well, they could get a lot for him at the deadline, but from what I'm hearing from Wilson, they really want to re-sign him. So you'd have to offer so much for Letang, you'd be better off not getting him. Well, I mean, Letang, I think, is going to be the real signal to what Pittsburgh's going to do. If they trade Letang, then you can be pretty much rest assured that, yeah, that's for sure. There's going to be a stripped down rebuild there. If they don't, then they're going to keep on banging away with what they got and trying to win a cup with what they got. I personally think that they should rebuild, but then look at Calgary. I don't know. I can't see them as cup contenders unless they do something dramatic. Well, they'd have to trade Price if they got Fleury, that's for sure. If they're going to re-sign Malkin and Letang, I don't know. I don't think you bring in Hextall unless you know you're going to rebuild or retool or something. There's got to be something. That's not the general manager you bring in to keep on adding to an old team like that. He showed his philosophy in Philadelphia pretty well. He's going to want to rebuild that team. So yeah, he is solid. Yeah, I mean, if Hertl goes on the market, his number is going to be pretty high, although he's not putting up huge points this year. Easily 6 to 7 million. Easily. I don't know. Like, centers are so sought after. He's the kind of guy somebody will overpay for. I could see Columbus putting a pretty good dollar his way if he wants to go. They need it just feels like a guy that Kekalainen would like if Hertl is available. Now, more than likely, the team that trades for him will be the one that signs him. And the question will be whether he's willing to... He probably wants the full 8 years. He's 28. What if he wants 8 years? That'll push him to 36. He's a big, strong center. We know, right? He almost had a point-a-game season in 2018. 2020. Like, he's gonna get $7 to $8 million, maybe even more, for 8 years on the open market. So, I mean, I could definitely see Columbus being interested. There's a lot of talk about the Rangers wanting to trade Strome, who has a contract coming up right now, which leads me to believe that they don't want to pay the money he wants. They may be more interested in a big center like Hertl. So they could actually make a deal with San Jose and give Strome back. Then San Jose could sign Strome to a lesser deal than what Hertl would get. And, kind of maybe the Rangers have to give up a little more or whatever. But something like that. I could see that. I'm sure the Rangers would have to give up more. I think the perception is that Hurdle is a better player than Strome, although he's a little older, but he's bigger. And you know, Rangers like their big centers. So I could see that. Oh yeah, Malkin. Yeah. Was it? Joe. He probably will have. His cap hit won't be that high. There's too many question marks about his injuries and stuff like that. I agree, for sure. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean because they have so much depth coming up. It depends on what those kids turn into, I guess. I suppose it would be possible if they needed cap room and they already got Schneider and wow, how come I can't find? Why do every time I search for the Rangers I can't find them? There we are. They got those Jones, Schneider, and why can I not remember that other guy's name? They got Libor Hajek, which hasn't been panning out. Nils Lundqvist. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I would really like to keep Keandre Miller. I would probably trade the younger guys first. I love that guy. For what he's done already at 21 years old, I think Nils Lundqvist could be out there. Could be somebody that they use. He's been doing well, but I would take Keandre Miller over him all day. They're pretty stacked on the right-hand side. What are those? They got Braden Schneider coming up. Matthew Robertson or Zachary Jones could be used to get themselves a really solid player because they have Keandre Miller. I think it's more likely that those kind of guys would be traded rather than Keandre Miller. Strome is a guy that I think would be, kind of perfect for Minnesota. Except I just don't think it gives them depth up the middle, but it doesn't make them better up the middle. I think Ek is about as good as Strome. So it would give them depth up the middle, but it would also have a guy that they don't really have to re-sign. They would get a guy that they don't have to re-sign because Rossi, right? That's the thing. It's all about saving that spot for Rossi right now. And I have a feeling that's likely what's going to happen. That spot's going to be saved for Rossi. But Strome, if they decide to do it and go for it a little more this year, Strome would be a good pick, I think. Yeah, for sure. Lambert's having a tough year. His stock might drop this year. In fact, I do believe in mock drafts he's already dropped. I do believe he's already dropped, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he's dropped far. Holy crap. He's number 9 now. He's projected number 9 now. Danila Yurov is the 3rd. Or Logan Cooley. Logan Cooley is ripping it up in the U.S. national team. He's got, 30 points in 20 games. Yeah, I like Robertson, yeah. They got a lot of depth coming up on D, so... And maybe they decide that they don't want to pay Keandre Miller the money. It's possible. You know, it is a cap. There is a cap. I'll tell you what, if Keandre Miller went on the market, I'd be freaking, if I'm a general manager, I'd be losing my mind trying to get him. What do you mean? What do I think they do? Who do I think they pick? I think they probably go with Matthew Savoie. Actually, there's a lot of people out there that think Savoie's the better pick. He's got 41 points in 26 games with the Winnipeg Ice right now. That is, and I believe that Tyler Wright is not having a spectacular year this year. $30 points in 22 games for which is not bad, but he's a little bigger. The undisputed gem of the draft. He dominates in both ends. He's more of a two-way guy. But I think there are general managers out there that may jump on Savoie. But he's a small center. That's the problem. So if a team already has small centers, more than likely, Arizona's going to go with the bigger center, I would think. Yeah, I'm on early. I don't know how long I'll be on. If I get a message from my wife, I may have to go at any time. So I could be on a marathon or I could be done in no time. Well, I think he would be there because he's a safe pick. Maybe he's having a strong year right now. Is he having a strong year? Oh my God. Oh, he's in the MHL. He's got 12 points in 6 games. So he's basically in the Russian minor leagues crushing it right now. So that's probably why he's a little high. Logan Cooley, another small center. Like I said, is putting up pretty good numbers in the USHL. This is going to change after the World Junior Championships. And the guy I really like is Simon Nemec. But then I almost always like defensemen in the draft. He's a big boy, Simon Nemec. Oh, he's 6', 192. I thought he was bigger than that. He's playing for Slovakia right now. 11 points playing with men in Slovakia is not too shabby for a defenseman. Yeah, he's like a Suzuki. Savoie is like a Suzuki almost. So not too shabby to have. But I think Arizona would likely go with that. If they don't get right, though, they'll probably go with Savoie. Maybe they go with the big defenseman or the solid defenseman in Nemec, or possibly because they need to get bigger. And Brad Lambert, somebody may just go on projection on him and say, okay, he's not having a great year, but, you know, there's a lot of reasons for that to be the case. And last year, he looked like he was eating up the league. So I don't really know why there's that dip this year. He's only got 5 points in 22 games in the Liga. Now, he's playing against men, but really he had 15 points in 46 games last year, so his progression has not been great. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Geeky isn't higher up. He's fallen off too, Connor Geeky. He was way up before, and now he's 33 points in 26 games, and he's 6'4". He plays for the Winnipeg Ice as well. So he plays with Savoy. Huh, interesting. You think Subban will go to San Jose? Kessel to Vegas does make sense. Giroux stays in Philadelphia, and Letang stays in Pittsburgh. Oh, Cole Perfetti was loaned to the World Junior Selection Camp. Wow. Forgot to mention that. Vancouver Canucks make more front office changes. Jim Rutherford comes in to take over the front office. Executive Director of Hockey Operations Jonathan Wall and Assistant General Manager Chris Gear have been dismissed. According, Rutherford hasn't even arrived in Vancouver to meet the staff yet, but two more employees that have been. So he understands these moves were in the works before Rutherford got hired. But so they talked to Rutherford about it. He obviously wants to put his own people in there, which makes sense. So would I. It sucks for those guys, though. They're out of a job right now, but I'm sure they'll land on their feet. Just 1 second. I got to go to the washroom, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. You'll make those. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to start looking at the games from yesterday. And we'll talk still trades and all that about each team as we go. There was lots of games yesterday. I'll go over them real quick. The Lightning and the Leafs, that one surprised me. I wasn't able to watch this game. I don't know if you guys saw it. But I really thought Toronto was going to win that game. And they outshot them 38-27. Now, my good buddy Weichel said that Campbell didn't have his best night last night, and that was basically the reason why they lost. Might have been a little bit of a, going up against the best goaltender in the world. Maybe he got a little bit shaken by that. I don't know. Yeah. You got a job today. Oh, good for you. But Tampa Bay got goals from all over their lineup, and that's one of the big things. Palat got 2, though. Tyler Radish potted 1, and they've been waiting for him for a long time. They just never seem to go wrong with their young players that they bring up. It's amazing. Perry got his 5th assist last night. Like I said, apparently Campbell didn't have his best night. That's awesome, dude. Perry had 13 minutes. Just looking at some of the minutes here. Oh, Riley Nash played his first game in Tampa Bay. So does that mean that... Did I get that right then? If Riley Nash was in... Stamkos. So Colton was their second line center last. Toronto should have had that game. That means Sorelli did not play. That's the reason why I took Toronto, and they still beat them. Toronto dropped the ball there. You don't have Sorelli. You don't have Point. Wow. That's a bad loss. And if it's because Campbell dropped the ball that night, well, I mean, he hasn't dropped the ball all year much, so there's not much you can do about it, I suppose. Sometimes your goaltender just has a bad night. But Clifford and Steves were in there. Steves, I never even heard of him before. And now he's getting a couple games in the NHL. Engvall only got 9 minutes a night. That's good. That's all he should be getting. He's terrible. And then, of course, they were playing Rubens last night. He got 12 minutes. Liljegren's getting 18 minutes a night right now. There was no Chernak, no Sorelli. Yeah, okay, Toronto was out without Spezza and Dermott, but that's not even close to the same. They should have had that game. Like some organizations, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Taylor Radish is 23, I believe. They do take their time. Kachuk is getting a good opportunity now, but I mean, those were late first round picks, if I remember correctly, by Tampa Bay. No Mitch Marner, yeah. I still say, though, that if you don't have Point, you don't have Sorelli up the middle, and Toronto's got Matthews, Tavares, they should win that game. That's a bad loss. That's a bad loss. At home, that's a bad loss. Yeah, Riley was. Why wouldn't Riley be in? I was going to look at the... Oh, they had Tyler Radish on the top line last night. But Boris Kachuk's 23. They drafted him second overall in 2016. And he never saw a minute until this year. So, yeah, they're bringing guys along really slow. Letting them build build into the game. And Radish, too. Radish did get a couple cups of coffee before this, I believe, though. If I remember. No. Tyler Radish, as well, is 23. And had not got even a sniff of NHL action until this year. And now he's got 25 games. So, Philadelphia Flyers lost 10 in a row. Yes, they did. They certainly did so. I don't know what that team's going to do now. It's in a bit of a shambles now. We've seen it over and over again, though. I say that, and then look at Calgary. All of a sudden, it's great. Chicago Blackhawks and the Canadiens, and of course, Fleury gets his 500th win, third goaltender ever to do that, and he gets a shutout. Pretty crazy. It's the reason why I took Chicago last night. Is I just got, Fleury's an emotional guy. They're going to play for him to get that win for one thing, and then they get a shutout. Jonathan Toews scores his first of the year from Jones and Kane. So that gets off the schneid after 20-odd games. That's pretty amazing. I never saw that coming. The Canadians outshot him 30-25, but Fleury would stop in everything. I watched that game, actually. He had a lot of difficult shots to stop, too. Ryan Johnson was back in after that surgery. Or is that a different Johnson? No. That's got to be a different Johnson, right? That's Reese Johnson. Never mind. I'll shut up. Yeah, the other Johnson, he had surgery. He's going to be out months. They brought Kurashev back up. He had a couple really good shots last night. And the Montreal Canadiens, their lineup was absolutely brutal. Ylonen and Ryan Poehling was playing 17 minutes. This is a tanking team right here. Cale Clegg was in last night. Got 20 minutes of ice time. Had the third most minutes out of anybody on the team last night. Played him a lot right off the get-go. Savard got 23. Wow, that's not good. That lineup is terrible. Yep. Ethan Bear is returning to Edmonton, and I'm pretty sure he's going to leave Edmonton with a win. The Ducks versus the Blue Jackets. The Ducks pull it out. It was 1-1 after the first, and they didn't score a single goal. The Blue Jackets outshot them 34-26. Gibson was on fire. Stole a game. And there's a lot of organizations out there that really need a goaltender to steal a game. I don't want to say any Flyers or Oilers or anything like that, but Carter Hart, actually, it's not even his fault. I don't even want to say that, but yeah, and Gibson will do that for it, and they did it. He did it last night. They got outplayed. They were tired. Columbus outshot them bad, but they pulled it out. Trevor Zegras had 18 minutes, looking amazing over there. I kept on going back over to it all the time, and it was really, Columbus should have had that game. They just couldn't get anything past Gibson at all. That's 6 extra time wins for the Ducks. You get that positive energy going, man. It's like you can do anything, you know? As far as Columbus, I'm really interested to see what Kekalainen is going to do with this team moving forward. Like, he's got an open palette there. They don't have to suck forever. I don't know what he's going to do. I really don't know. They could go so many different directions. They're so good at drafting. I don't even think they need to, like, tank. And I'm not sure they will. I think they're going to go after the best center they can. I have a feeling that Laine injury is not really an injury. Oh, TSN trade bait board? No, I haven't. When will Darren Radish? I don't know. He's a defenseman, right? He doesn't seem to have the same clout in Tampa Bay as his brother. Both of these teams are really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if Anaheim is a buyer at the draft. And it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if they're not going to be all-in buyers, but they may give a look for some young guys with some term. Like a Toffoli maybe in Montreal. I could see that. Younger guys. I don't even look on that. Never. TSN trade bait board. Well, let's take a look at it. Why not? Sherratt tops the list. Sherratt will get traded for sure. Hudobin? I don't know who would. Somebody's going to take a chance on Hudobin. $3 million, I imagine, but I mean, he hasn't played well lately. Yeah, did you see my, I did a Jeff Petrie traded there, and Toronto was in there. Jake DeBrusk, Mark Giordano. I don't know why. Why would you make him captain if you're going to trade him, though? I don't understand that. Thomas Hurdle. Nick Leddy. Why anybody would take Nick Leddy, I have no idea. Kravtsov. He's got to go somewhere eventually. And Kevin Fiala. I think Kevin Fiala's out in Minnesota, but I'm not sure it's going to be at the deadline unless they can get a center for him. That I think they're using Fiala for a center now to get a center. And a center that doesn't have a lot of term. You know, Miller was out there. It would be funny if somebody took Nick Leddy. I agree. Yeah, Danny DeKeyser might be, but I mean, with his injury issues, what's his contract look like now? Oh my gosh, I got Osterley on the top pairing. Danny DeKeyser is only playing bottom pairing. He's a UFA. Somebody might, I mean, you're not going to get much for him. His cap hit's $5 million. Like, I don't think you're going to get all that much for him. But looking at that, I would say Phil Kessel should be higher. Phil Kessel's gone for sure. Yeah, he's not very good for his contract, Weichel. Stahl, yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's going to take a chance on Stahl. His legs are really gone. Like, he's pretty slow of foot. He apparently says he wants to come back, but anywhere he goes, I don't think he's going to get much ice time. Right now, I don't think Stahl is going to be willing to come back and just sit in the seats. So, and he probably will want a contender. My lean is that he's going to have to retire. I think he'll have to retire. Oh, I was going to share this, right? But I don't know who would take Letty. DeKaiser's, I don't know. They'd have to retain some money. If Detroit retains money, then somebody will take him for depth, I imagine. Nashville and the Islanders, and this Nashville team, man, I'll tell you, they're going to outwork you. Or you're going to have to, if you're not prepared to work that night, they're going to beat you. That's what I should say. Not saying that the Islanders didn't last night. It was a close game. And the Islanders, this used to be the MO of the Islanders. They would play close games and pull them out. But now, they're not pulling them out. Not doing it. Sisson's got a goal. Predators are getting goals from everybody. Anders Lee potted one from Barzal and Wahlstrom. Are they finally going to put Wahlstrom up on the top line? He's like one of their best options. Noah Dobson got one. Yakov Trenin got one. He had a big gash on his forehead. And he potted one. It looked like a boss doing it. And then Eli Toivonen. Look at that. Everybody, the whole lineup getting points from the whole lineup there in Nashville. Playing a complete game, as they like to say. The worry, I think, herein is Varlamov is not putting up the numbers that he ever did before. I guess the whole team's not playing very well, though. I think it's getting to the point, a couple more games like that, and it's getting to the point where you got to say that the Islanders are just not going to be able to do it this year. They're still giving Parise 14 minutes a night. That's not good. Not the same team without Pulock in the lineup either. And Chara getting 17 minutes a night. Did I catch that right? Or is that penalty minutes? Oh, 7 penalty minutes. Okay. But Varlamov has really gone downhill this year. And the whole team defense, Trotz has got to be scratching his head figuring out what they got to do with this Islanders team. Because it's like night and day to what they were last year. And I guess we'll talk about St. Louis Blues in Detroit. Charlie Lindgren. Oh, the big news about that game was Nathan Walker got a hat trick. The only Australian-born player to ever play in the NHL. He's been banging around the minors. He played for Washington for a while, then he went to LA. Hasn't played all year. Plays one game. And he gets a hat trick last night. Cool story. that lineup was all depleted too. They were short-manned. I was off the game because of that. Not to mention Charlie Lindgren playing in net. He had, if you're a Montreal fan, you would remember Charlie Lindgren played in Montreal's organization for a while. He hasn't played a game in the NHL since that time, and comes in and gets a big win. Getting lots of goals all over their lineup. Nice to see Ivan Barbashev getting some minutes. I always wondered what he would do if they gave him the minutes, and here he's got 9 goals already this year. Just flying out there. And Detroit looks like they're starting to wear down. They just don't have enough depth to be able to keep up for the long run in the NHL. And it's too bad because they got a solid young team, and every year we're anticipating that Detroit's going to be. This is going to be the year. I know Lauren, who I'm surprised we haven't seen yet. He was pretty heavy on Detroit this year, but hasn't worked out. Lindgren stops 29 of 31 for his first win in a very long time. I'm going to go to, and then now the Oilers game, right? Or Hurricanes and Flames. Hurricanes pulled it out. I was watching the Oilers game. Actually, I was doing a live stream with Peyton last night on that one. And so I didn't get to see a lot of it. But just normal Carolina playing a killer road game against a tough competition, not getting too impatient, getting a goal from Aho, and just playing that perfect road game, much like Calgary does too. And they had LeJoe in the lineup last night with Chatfield. Doing it with kind of like a skeleton defense. Anderson stopped 26 of 27. Just getting her done. Carolina just gets her done. Mrazek is playing Saturday. Oh. I think Calgary's lost a few in a row now. 2 or 3 in a row. So we'll see how they bounce back from there. But it was a pretty good game. And then, of course, the Edmonton game where Edmonton did outplay Boston all the way through pretty much. But they just can't pot one. I don't know. Ask Weichel there. How long is Marner out for, Weichel? Jake DeBrusk pots a goal while his dad is there. He just needs his dad to follow him around everywhere. You watched the entire game? Yeah. Leon Draisaitl with 2 crazy goals. The second goal for Draisaitl, he had maybe 6 inches to put it past the post. He was down by the goal line and got it in. Both of them on the power play, of course. They got to get their 5-on-5 back on track, though. You just can't keep on winning power play after power play after power play. McDavid gets 2 assists. Barry, of course, gets second assists on both of those goals, where that's his bread and butter, second assist, secondary assist. And Matt Grzelcyk I thought when Edmonton tied it up there, I thought for sure, Boston's on a back-to-back. Their legs are going to be heavy. Edmonton's going to outskate them and pot them all. And no, Grzelcyk with his first of the year yet, pots one in the top-hand corner and puts it away for Boston. It was really disappointing. 3 losses in a row for the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, that is huge, yeah. Peter Mrazek will get hurt again. John Weichel is such a negative Nancy about his Toronto Maple Leafs. I guess you missed Bear. That was a terrible trade. Yeah, you know about that because you listen to Peyton and I talk about it on the live streams when we do them. That was a terrible trade. I'd take Bear in a heartbeat. Warren Fogle, 12 minutes. His ice time is dropping. Yamamoto's ice time is dropping. Watch, Yamamoto's going to get traded. They're going to trade Yamamoto and maybe package him with Barry and try to get somebody back in return or something like that. There was talk, right, there was talk about, I forgot his name now. I should remember his name. He's my favorite writer in the land right now. Alan Mitchell is saying that the Oilers are looking to trade Barry. I so hope that's true. Yeah, we need Bear. We need Bear. I agree with you. Bad trade. All right, next game. Kings versus Stars, and the Stars were outshot ridiculous in this game. I had under 1.5 first period. We got it. I got it, and I had the under. But the Kings outshot them 41-27. However, the shots were not very good. They did manage to end up getting 4 in the third, though. They finally started potting them. I went to sleep before I saw that. But it was 1-0, and they finally got one from Kaliev. Victor Arvidsson, who was all over the place last night. It was probably their best player. And Andres Athanasiou came back into the lineup and potted the fourth goal from Roy and Edler. Quick had a great game, although LA really just shot it right at him most of the night. It was they had lots of shots, Ottinger had a great game, but really LA shot it right at him almost all night. And then I guess it just fell apart in the third. Was there an empty netter? Is that why too? No empty netter. It just looks like they fell apart in the third after getting outshot badly. The Athanasiou goal was funny? Oh, I didn't know that. I know a lot of people were on Dallas last night. I didn't like the game. I don't like taking teams on a back-to-back against too many other teams no matter what. It's tough to play back-to-backs against with the parity in the NHL. Hakanpää only had 13 minutes. What's going on there, buddy? You got to play Hakanpää. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna have to get what's his name? Why do I always forget his name? Oh my gosh, why in the world do I forget his name every single time? My gosh. Rick Bonus. I know you're watching, Rick. What the heck you doing only playing Hakanpää 13 minutes? He's the star. He's the king. You got to play Hakanpää. I'm sure that'll change now. Got that taken care of. Martin Bo. I don't know. The world needs more hack and pan, molten balls. They need more of it. It's just like more cowbell. You need more of it. Kapari only had 10 minutes last night. Who the heck is he playing? Daniel playing every Brown. Yeah, I'm starting to get the impression here that he's just not going to play the kids. Even Bjornfort's still only getting 15 minutes a night. Oli Mata, Linus Anderson, and Brendan Lemieux, obviously, were scratched. Huh. Anyways, the Kings outplayed them, they did, but their shooting is terrible. Like, they make it easy on the goal. They made it easy on the goaltender last night. And finally, the Wild versus the Stars, and the Wild just keep on rolling. Stars are a good team. Wild are on the road. I took the Wild to win, but didn't think it was going to be 5-2. I didn't think it was going to be that much of a blowout. However, they were all over San Jose. San Jose didn't know what to do. And Jordan Greenway, we were just talking about that, had an amazing night. Probably one of the best games I've seen Jordan Greenway play in a very long time. He did happen to get 2 goals as well, but it's not even because of the goals. He was very engaged, using his body, playing exactly like they need him to play. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely should be playing above Brown right now. It's a little too much. I agree. Anders Lee. One day you will have names like that. I don't quite get that. Byfield is playing. Oh, yeah. LA. Okay, let's look at tonight's games before I get a call from the little lady here. Nathan Big Mac. Oh, okay. Let's look and see if we get any more goaltender confirmations here. Darcy Kemper is playing against Detroit, who should be putting Nedeljkovic in. Blackwood is likely. Predators will almost certainly be going with UC Saros. Jari against Ilya Samsonov. And of course, Gunsel is hurt. Nikita Zaitsev is on waivers, finally. Nobody's taking that contract. They're going to send him down to the minors. Eric Comrie will be in for the Jets against Vancouver. And the Knights are starting Boissois. Are they on a back-to-back? No. Against the Flyers with Carter Hart. That's sort of a slap in the face for the Flyers right there. All right, so let's do our predictions. I gotta change my live stream title. Oh, no, I don't. Tarasenko was signed to the AHL, yep. Okay, first game, we got Rangers and Sabres. It looks like it's going to be Georgiev against the Laukkanen kid. Luukkanen did have a good outing last time. Rangers are on quite a roll. Rangers versus Sabres. Rangers are on quite a roll right now. I think I still gotta go with the Rangers here. The Sabres have a lot of guys out right now. Middlestat is injured again. That guy just can't stay off the injured list. My gosh. So, yeah, Rasmus Asplund started out well, but he's starting to slip offensively now, which is not what he's really meant to be. There's not much scoring in this Buffalo lineup, and a lot of them are young guys that have been playing a little above their heads. I just think it's going to fade on them, and it's starting to fade on them now. Matt Murray, Mark Jankowski is going to be in tonight. I mean, that's not a guy you want in the lineup. Laukkanen had a really good outing last time, but is he going to be able to keep that up as a 22-year-old? I got to go with the Rangers here, pretty much. You're taking the Sabres. Wow. Zaitsov and Delzato on waivers. Wonder who's coming in. Brandon Carlo got injured. Oh my gosh, that's devastating for Boston. How do you know this, by the way? Where do you get this from? I got Delzato on waivers. I don't have anybody. I didn't get... yeah, I got Delzato on waivers, but nobody else. Well, they're giving their young guys a shot now in Ottawa, so that pretty much rings in the fact that they're not worrying about winning. I didn't hear that he was injured. What do you got? I didn't hear that I didn't hear that Carlo got injured. That's pretty much devastating for Boston. They can't afford any injuries to their D-line, for sure. Unless they're going to play Edmonton every night. Yeah, he is injured. John Moore is going to come in. Oh, who are they playing next? Oh, it's just day to day. That's good. Who the heck is Boston playing next? Is it Calgary? Are they playing Calgary next? Oh, all over Calgary there. Calgary's going to... No Derek Brassard tonight for Philly. I'm going to be doing that game with Off the Wall John, by the way. Yeah, Calgary. 3 games in 4 and no Carlo. Oh, Calgary all day on that. So what did we have? You guys didn't tell me who you're picking for that game. Sabres versus Rangers. Everybody's got. Do we have one for the Sabres? I hope you're wrong about that. I don't think the Rangers shouldn't be tired here, really, should they? Weren't they at home and now this is their first game on the road? Oh, they got 3 games in 4 nights. They played home against Colorado. I still think they got to win that game. Arsen Kizmudinov's contract, yeah. He's going to stay in the KHL, apparently. He's going to sign a long term. He doesn't want to come over. 2-1 New York Rangers. A low-scoring affair. With Georgiev in net. And Laukkanen, I don't see it being low scoring, but I'm taking the Rangers for sure. Penguins versus Capitals. This is two beat up teams. Capitals don't have Gunsel. Or sorry, Penguins don't have Gunsel. But the Penguins, it's almost impossible to pick them, to go against them, because it doesn't seem to matter who they have in their lineup a lot of the time. They just keep on winning. So it's going to be Rodriguez, Crosby, Kapanen, Drew O'Connor, who's played well, Jeff Carter, Heinen, Aston Reese, Bluger, McGinn, and Brian Boyle is back, Simone and Lafferty. Lafferty always seems to get in about 20 to 25 games a year. No Zucker, no Gunsel. And Washington, I don't know. I think I'm going to lean Washington here. What do you guys got? What do you think? Washington or Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh's hard to go against, though, right? Washington, do they have anybody back now? They've been riding like really young team for a while. That's the problem. Eller is back. Okay, Oshie is in. Yeah, Fairhervey, Carlson. Irwin is playing. I don't like that too much. But Samsonov should be in. He's been spotty. Man, yeah, I'm going to lean Washington, but I'm not big on it. What do you guys think? Washington, Pittsburgh. Ovechkin, a 4-goal game. You're just not a Pittsburgh fan, or you just really think that's going to happen? Jason Zucker's hurt, yeah. I'm going to lean Washington, but I hate going against Pittsburgh in anything. They can win at any time. Let's see what their records have been the last little while. Oh yeah, Pittsburgh's been on the road for a long time too. They've been on the road for a heck of a long time. Oh, but they played Seattle and then had 3 days off, and then play the Capitals, and then play Anaheim tomorrow on a back-to-back. So they're going to play DeSmith tomorrow against Anaheim? Wow. I would have to think that's what they're doing. And Washington has had the same amount of time off, but they've been at home. Yeah, I'm going to take Washington. And then they're going to be on a back-to-back against Buffalo. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of any team, really. Next game, Predators versus Devils. And the Devils just are not forceful enough on the puck. The Predators are on a back-to-back. I think they played Rittich last night, didn't they? Yeah, they're playing Saros tonight. They're on a back-to-back. They're a hard-working team. They'll probably end up pulling this out. I think, if I remember correctly, what's the total on this? All the totals on, yeah, I'm going under. I got to put that one in. That total is not going to change. I'll put that in. What do you got for Nashville, New Jersey? Nashville doesn't have any injuries whatsoever. New Jersey has been, the only thing I got to say about New Jersey is more than likely Hughes is going to get his legs starting right about now. I don't care. It was a nothing trade. Gabriel to Toronto, I think. For Chris, doesn't really mean much. It's an AHL trade, I think. You taking New Jersey Oilers, man? I don't even know if I'll touch the side here. I lean Nashville. But I think Jack Hughes should start hitting his stride here. That's the thing that kind of concerns me with this. Mercer's being a beast. I do believe they've been at home for a while, New Jersey now. And they've been getting beat quite a bit. I think they're really going to want this game. And Bernier is out. I wonder if I think Blackwood's likely. Did they say Blackwood is likely? Yes, so Blackwood is in, and then they're going to try that rookie 6'5" or 6 foot huge goaltender tomorrow against the Islanders, I imagine. Lauren is in the house. 5-1 Preds. Okay. Yeah, it was a tough grinder out game. The Canes pulled it out. I didn't watch a lot of it. I was doing live for the Edmonton game with Peyton on the radio. So I was doing a live stream with Peyton on the radio. I think another couple of weeks yet for Jack Eichel, but that's going to be insane when he gets in there. Red Wings versus Avalanche. There's not much to talk about there. The Red Wings are going to have Nedeljkovic in. The Avalanche are going to go with the kid again. Oh, Kemper. Kemper's going to be in. Red Wings are on a back-to-back. The Avalanche should destroy that game. Should. I don't see any way that they shouldn't. The only thing is Detroit lost big to St. Louis, and that's something to take into consideration. When teams lose big, the next game they're pretty driven. But I just don't think they got anything against Colorado to be able to come up against Colorado right now. Colorado is playing with pretty fierce offensive game right now. And Detroit's defense is just not good enough against a team like Colorado. There's only two things. Colorado's been on the road for a bit, and the blowout thing where a team gets blown out. But I don't see them winning this game. Oh, Kadri's hurt again? Kadri's out. Kadri's out and Comfer is in. Yeah, I still got to like him, but I didn't realize that. I would play Newhook up there. Newhook has been playing really well. You taking Nashville? It was a solid game. It was two really good teams, good tactical game, great coaches, Calgary and Hurricanes. Great coaching battle. It was a good game. Everybody taking Colorado, right? I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah, they outplayed him. I don't know. Campbell got a little freaked out that he's up against the best goaltender in the league or something. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Panthers versus Coyotes, and if the Panthers don't win this one, I don't know. There's something wrong with the world. The Coyotes are a hard-working team, but the Panthers are too. The Panthers are having a couple issues right now. Bobrovsky's not playing at his best, but I can't see for the life of me them losing that game. They got some injuries like Barkov's out and stuff, but no matter what, man on man, they've got an infinitely better. I guess that would be I always try to find a way to convince myself that the other team can win. They went from St. Louis to Arizona. There's no reason why they lose that game. In fact, Arizona just came back off a road trip. They got Philly tomorrow. I believe Wedgwood is in net. So that'll keep the scoring down a little bit. But I can't see Florida not winning that game for sure. Jets and Canucks, and I'm on the Canucks. Jets on a back-to-back, coming in from Seattle. It's not far. It's just across the pond, but I like the Canucks flow right now. I will reserve. I know the Jets are going with Comrie. It's maybe possible that Boudreau puts Halak in, but I don't think so. I think they're going to try to keep this ball rolling here and keep on going with Demko here. So it doesn't say who's going to be in, though. It doesn't say that. But I'm pretty sure. Well, let me see. Vancouver, what do they got coming up? They could go with Halak here, and then they're going to go with Demko 4 games in a row because they got Carolina coming up. If they think Demko's tired, I guess they'll put Halak here, and then I'm probably off the game. They're German colors? I just like the flow of the Vancouver Canucks. I think they're going to win the game. It's, the Jets got it. Will be a little bit tired. They've got energy for days right now. I like what the energy Boudreau's brought to that team. I'm taking Vancouver. Oh, their old uniforms for, oh yeah, from the 80s. Yeah, the black and, oh yeah, those are pretty cool. Canucks got the momentum. Yeah, I agree. Flyers versus Golden Knights, and Golden Knights, whatever. No, I would be absolutely blown away if the Flyers win that game against the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights would have to have played down to their opposition. How are the Flyers going to keep up to that offense that they've got? The speed they have in the front and the pace that they play with, defensively and offensively, the Flyers are going to have like a complete turnaround in one game and play totally opposite that they ever did before. There's no way the Flyers win that game. No way. I'll be blown away if they win that one. Golden Knights all day long. Connaughton plays tonight. Yeah, that's not going to turn the needle too much. Connaughton's pretty slow of foot. That's not going to turn the needle too much, that's for sure. Big night from Hayes. I mean, what could Philly do to win this game? Hayes has got to get back, would have to get back into stride tonight. They're playing Scott Lawton with Couturier and Konechny. Frost, Giroux, and Atkinson. And then Hayes is playing with Willman and Van Riemsdyk. I mean, that's not even fair for Hayes, really. And then Lindblom is back to the fourth line again. So Yo's putting Lindblom back to the fourth line already. Yeah. Connaughton with Yandel. Connaughton's a lefty too. So you got two lefties playing with each other, and Connaughton hasn't even played with Yandel before. No. And Derek Brassard's out again. Farabee's out. I would be blown away if... actually, I should change that here on my thing. There, I just put it in right now. Just awful is right. Let's go Flyers. It sucks to be a Flyers fan right now, that's for sure. It really sucks. It's a late game. It's tough to watch. It is, yeah. I It's tomorrow's Saturday. I might tune into it. We'll see. Just you know what happens on this show. No, they're not winning. There's just no way. There's no way they're winning that game against. There's no way. The only thing they got possibility is Brossois is in net, I believe. So, yeah, against Carter Hart. Hart could stop everything, I guess. But Laurent Brossois played well. He's played well when he's in. He's got a better save percentage than Carter Hart. He hasn't played as many games, but he's 5-1-0 with a 241 and a 9.921. I actually think he's playing a little bit better than Lehner right now. Yeah, they're putting him in basically because, Philadelphia is not a great team. They're giving Lehner a break because it's going to be Vegas versus Minnesota coming up. So, well, the Oilers' defense is really bad, yeah. I think that's all the games, right? Yeah, that's all the games. So tomorrow, we can go over tomorrow's games pretty quick. Tampa Bay, Ottawa. After Tampa Bay doing what they did against Toronto, you watch, Tampa Bay will drop the ball against Ottawa. Edmonton needs to get rid of Tippett. It's not happening, so. I don't even know if Tippett is the issue. Well, I don't even know if Tippett is the issue. It's that defense that was put together is horrible. It's horrible. It's a terrible defense. We knew it going into the season. It's not like it's a surprise or anything. 8-0 Tampa. We'll see. Tampa is the king. Tampa and Washington are the kings of playing down to their competition. So I got to go Tampa as well. Like, you have to go Tampa. Elliott will almost certainly be in net there. So probably a big over. Yeah, I'm positive Elliott will be in net. Ottawa will either be Forsberg or whatever, Gustafsson, but they're at home. They're going to play them hard, and if they don't come in playing hard, Ottawa will beat you. So we'll see if Tampa Bay does it, but, I mean, how many times have I seen Tampa Bay drop the ball? Does anybody have more bad beats than Tampa Bay? I don't think so. Like last year, their record as a favorite was brutal. A lot of it was really not good. They lost to a lot of bad teams last year. On same note, I can't go Ottawa. Montreal, St. Louis. I believe this is, you got to go St. Louis no matter what. You just got to go St. Louis. Hopefully they have some guys back by that time. But I figure you got to go with St. Louis. Washington, Buffalo. You got to find a spot for Buffalo here. There's got to be a place for them to win. And part of me thinks that it might be tonight against the Rangers. But a back-to-back, and Washington will be on a back-to-back. They'll both be on a back-to-back. Vanacek will be in. Buffalo will be using who knows what. I have a feeling Buffalo pulls that out, and I don't even know why. And then Anaheim and Pittsburgh. I might take a flyer on Anaheim there. I might take a flyer on Anaheim there. Pittsburgh on a back-to-back. Anaheim's on a roll. Gibson will be in net. And Pittsburgh will probably have to go with their backup, which is DeSmith, who isn't very good. Chicago versus Toronto. New Jersey versus Islanders. I'll take Islanders. Philadelphia, Arizona. Honestly, I don't know. Philadelphia is going to be on a back-to-back. They're going to have Jones in net. Arizona could win that game, sadly. That would be the lowest game. What's up, Lauren? That would be the lowest of the low points of Philadelphia if they lose to Arizona that game. Even on a back-to-back or whatever. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Philadelphia might be the worst team in the league right now. No way. Where did you get that from? They're not expanding again. We don't have the talent to absorb that. Well, I don't think we do anyways. Huh. I don't see that anywhere, but I don't think that's a good idea. It's on TSN, really? Wow. Let's see if I can find that anywhere. I don't even know what's going on with the CHL. I don't have anything I can watch that'll tell me that. But I don't think that's a good idea. Grand Prairie is likely to get a team in the NHL. Jeez. I can't grab the link out of there. Oh. Yeah, maybe I can copy and paste it. Oh, no, here it goes. No, yeah, TSN, okay. It did go. No, it didn't. Didn't go. Why the heck did that happen? TSN. Could Quebec City be back in the picture down the road? Down the road, yeah. Arizona won't be leaving. He just didn't dismiss the possibility. Okay, it's not imminent or anything like that. He didn't dismiss the possibility. It's not like it's an imminent thing, though. How's my video doing, by the way? Oh, I got another follower, 817. Woo. 126 views. Nice. Hey guys, we got 53 more views for the Petrie video, and we're at 1,000. 20 more views. 20 more views, and we're at 1,000 views. Cool. That's pretty cool. $137 views. Wow, getting lots of views. People like this trade stuff, right? Do you think it would be great if the league expands some more? The talent pool. You get more Tucker Poolmans playing. That's what I don't like about it. I think we're not ready for that yet. And I don't want to. Why expand in Canada? It doesn't make any sense. If they're going to expand in the United States. I already said that before. It's not. We're not building more of a fan base by expanding the United States, Canada. I did my Gallagher getting traded thing. I put it on Facebook, and the first comment from the Rangers fans were, "This little prick might push the Rangers to the finals." I totally agree. Like I said that Gallagher to the Rangers would be maybe a big possibility there. Got to give. Why do we have to give a Quebec a team? Why do we have to give them a team? We don't have to give them a team. Eventually, maybe like 10 years down the road or something. Yeah, I'd love to see Hartford get a team again. I don't know why that didn't work out, but eventually. But first, I'd rather see Kansas City or something like that. I mean, Kansas City may not get another chance again, but Portland, another one in Dallas, Houston, or something like that. I will eventually. That's a little bit. 2023? Okay, that's a little bit of ways away. So anyways, I said that I sent it to the Rangers Facebook group, and this Edward Wisner guy said that little prick could get us to the finals. Everybody hates Gallagher unless you have him on your team. And I said, yeah, it'd be like getting St. Louis all over again, but with better results. Seismus Casey, what the heck? Oh, are you talking about the draft? Put Portland and Houston, yeah. Portland and Houston, there would be my two that I would be looking at right now, I think. Maybe after we get those in, then maybe think about a Canadian team, possibly. I'd like to get to the point where, like, the Milwaukee's and places like that could support a hockey team. That's where I want to get to. I want to get where hockey's so big in the United States that you could actually support a team in Milwaukee. Teams like places like that. Hartford in the Atlantic. Milwaukee and Houston. That's down the road, maybe, yeah. Okay, what do we got? I'm pretty sure he already got traded to long-term injured reserve. Toronto fans like the idea of getting Petrie. Let's bring Proust back instead. Okay. Yes, C. Smith Casey to the Oilers through the draft. Okay, he's like a huge 2023 guy, I take it. But I don't think the Oilers will get. I hope not. I hope the Oilers don't get a super high draft pick in 2023. For the love of God, that's not what we're working on right now. No more garbage from Montreal. Oh my gosh. So somebody doesn't want Petrie because they said no more garbage from Montreal. That's what they said about about the video I did on Petrie. He is right wing. What? Oh my gosh. Sean Donaldson from True Blue New York Rangers fans says he doesn't want Gallagher. What? I think the Rangers would be a perfect place for Gallagher right now. That would be like that. That would be perfect to show a couple like Lafreniere and what it means to compete every night. Like, I think that would be the perfect fit. I bet you they would be all over that. Milwaukee and Chicago rivalry. Houston, Dallas would be insane, right? That would be awesome. The problem with Dallas is that the owner is not going to want a team in Houston. He wants all that money for himself. Why would he want to lose all the merchandise and all that you get from? Now you got another team there. They're buying that merchandise instead of your own. Yeah, Milwaukee, I think, will get a team eventually. I really do. It's not going to be the biggest market in the world, but when the game is big enough, I think Milwaukee will get a team eventually. Yeah. Here's what the Islanders all said about Gallagher. Good player, but not really the type of addition we need. We need to inject some young skill and speed from the looks of things, probably through the draft. I'm going to say you could be waiting a long time. Unless you plan on, I'm going to say, if the Islanders need some speed, I do agree, but they're going to have to suck. So which one do you want? Like, you're not likely going to be getting guys where they're drafting that are going to be able to. The Brooklyn Rangers. Brooklyn. Do you think Brooklyn, another team in New York, that would be pretty cool. So anybody that just came in here, we got a few topics going on. We're talking about Gallagher getting traded, Petrie getting traded, who might get traded from Montreal. There's talk of Price being traded. And I'm looking at comments. Most Toronto Maple Leafs fans like the idea of Petrie going back there. Some people just think it's funny. I got one guy that, you always get the guy that's like, well, what's the use of doing all this speculation? It doesn't matter. Well, what else are you going to do? You're just going to watch your team every day and say the same thing over and over again, how your team needs this or your team needs to do this, but then not speculate on how they're going to get players to do that? I don't understand guys like that. As long as there's logic behind it. Oh, really? Cool. Thank you for that. Yeah, if you guys want to come on my Facebook, just look up Pearlo Wisdom on Facebook. I'll talk to you on there. If you got Twitter, it's NHL POW. And by the way, don't forget about Manscaped. Put the link there. I can't get the link. Pearlo Dance for that. It's Pearlo Dance. Promo code Pearlo Dance, 20% off. Give you 20% off of anything they have there. And like I said, if you buy, that's cool. But just hitting the link and doing that, going over there and promo coding Pearlo Dance, if we get 10 people to do that, they're going to give us a lifetime sponsorship. So that's pretty cool for us. It makes it so I'm able to do this every day. Sponsors pay the bills. So if I can keep on doing this if I pay the bills. I can't keep on doing this if I don't. So just like anybody else, right? And I'm having too much fun doing this. You guys are too much fun to go off and not do this. Yeah. Tell all your friends there, Oilers, man. When you're on, I'm going to be on Off the Wall, Johns. I'm going to be on Off the Wall, John's live stream Saturday night. We're going to be doing the Calgary-Boston game. If you can be there, Oilers, man. Get in there, and he doesn't mind because he's Steel Flyer. He's under the Steel Flyers umbrella too, right? So tell everybody to sub up, get me up to 1,000, man, and get more. We'll get lots more people in the stream. Fridays are usually not lots of people. People are usually busy on Fridays, so I'm not surprised that we didn't have like a boatload of people in here today, but we have been doing lots better. This week has been more and more people coming in the stream, and I really appreciate that. It's fun too. The more people, the better, right? It's more fun that way. Let's see if we got any new stuff coming up here. Nope, no more new news. Any more starting goaltender surprises? Yeah, Laurent Brossoit almost certainly is going to play for the Knights, but I almost think that's better right now. Oh yeah, I'll check it out on my Facebook, bud. That's for sure. I will. I'll check it out on the Facebook. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day, guys. Thanks for coming in. Have a great weekend, everybody. And remember, I'll be Off the Wall Hockey John. He's got a show tonight. And tonight at 6, I believe it is. And I'm going to be on his show Saturday night, probably for the last 2 periods of the Boston-Calgary game. So you can see me there. And then I'll be back here Monday to start her all over again and talk about all the big news and all of those sort of things that are going to happen. Until then, that's my full 42. Have a great day, everybody. Lots of love to you. Okay. Bye.